So what I'm going to show you in this training is how to assemble the laptop version of the studio. Something portable, something on the road, something easy to set up, and I'll show you exactly how I'd put it on this standing desk. Cameras, microphone, so you are all set to go. First thing I'm going to do is actually take the laptop, but instead of just laying it flat on the desk, I'm actually got this stand. And by the way, all of this, everything I'm going to use today, you'll see on a link in an Amazon shop that'll have everything listed. And I'll have more than what's listed here, but everything that I use is on that list. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this stand, and this stand goes together just like this. These pieces slide in. And this is going to do a couple things for me. Number one, this is going to get my laptop up off the desk, so it has a lot more airflow and a lot more room to be able to move around. So it just kind of sits like that, up in the air. That way, if I do lift this up, open up the screen, I'm all good to go. Now, I'm setting this just left of center on my desk, and you always want to make sure that when you're running on a laptop, even though it has a battery, you always want it plugged in. That's essential. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to position the equipment around it, and then I'll connect the wires and show you how all that works. So the first thing I'm going to do, aside from this, is I'm going to grab what I have here as a microphone, or I'm sorry, a camera stand. And what the camera stand is going to do, I'm just going to move it just a little bit. It's actually going to clip onto here, just like that. And I'll tighten it up just enough to clamp on there and be all good to go. There we go. Now I'm going to go underneath and clamp it the rest of the way. Just like that. Okay. Now, this particular stand, this is a camera. I have two of these here. These are the Insta360 Link cameras. Now, one of the cameras is going to sit right on top of the laptop, just like that. And the other camera is going to get attached right here. And this camera, the camera that's attached right here, is actually going to open up and be pointed down at the desk. This is where I'm going to have my writing pad, and this is where I'm going to be able to set and take notes, demonstrate, show whatever I need to from this camera. This camera here will be my primary camera, and the next thing I'm going to get is a monitor. So this monitor here, I think there's it's either a 24 or 27 inch. And I'm going to set it just next to, so I can see, I want to be able to see both screens while I'm standing here. So I can definitely see the laptop and I can see the monitor. Now, believe it or not, we're actually almost done with setup. This is designed to be super easy and simple. But the thing that you're going to run into more often than not here is we have to get a decent amount of audio presented here. So I'm going to grab the microphone that I recommend in a travel setup so we can get moving. All right, so here's the microphone I'd recommend in a travel setup. This is the Samsung Go mic. This is going to be on the road, able to fit in your bag, fits in the palm of your hand, super easy, super convenient. You can still use the Rodes, the Yetis, all that stuff, the Shures. They get to be a little bulky, and they tend to take up a decent amount of space and weight in your bag. This flows beautifully. Position that right about here. Good to go. And now I'm going to grab my Stream Deck. Now, my Stream Deck is just my remote control. It's what will actually control the scenes, the switching, so it looks like I have an entire team, but it's really just me. Now, what's important here, on most laptops, you're going to run out of cords really quickly. Run out of USBs really quickly. Well, I got the HDMI for the screen. That's good. I got my Stream Deck plugged in. That's good. But I got two cameras that both use use USB, and I have the Samsung Go mic, which is going to need USB also. So on this computer, because it's a gaming PC, I'm fine. I have an HDMI, good. I'm using one USB, and I have two USBs over here, so I can be good, and I have a USB-C, so I'm actually fine on this setup. Now, if you had a laptop that doesn't have as many connections as you need, I'm going to encourage you to get something that looks like this. Now, this is the baseline. This is the entry-level hub. And what's going to happen here, there's two ports. This is going to plug into the wall for power and into your computer. So what's going to happen here, anything in blue, you'll be able to use, and it'll go right to your computer. Anything in red is strictly just power and charging. So your phone, lights, whatever just needs power. So this may give you more extension, but don't think you're going to be able to plug both cameras or more than two cameras into here. This would be great for your mouse. This would be great for your keyboard. This would be great for all kinds of stuff like that. Maybe even a data file. The Stream Deck possibly, but if you try to plug two cameras in here, it's not going to work. The next step up from this would be an actual docking station. You'll see those on my list as well. Those where everything will get plugged into the docking station, and then all you'll do is take your computer and plug it in once, and you'll be all set to go. So this ranges between probably 20 to 30 bucks, and a docking station will go from like 50 bucks to 150 bucks, depending on how good. I have a couple of recommendations on that list. All right, so now our next thing is actually to plug in the monitor and the cameras. I'll get that done now. You're going to notice that your cords for the Insta360 Link are USB-C, but they come with an adapter to go to regular USB. So since I have a USB-C port, I'm going to use one that is straight USB-C, and I'll use another that will be USB. Now, I like when the cords are nice and tucked out of the way. And what we can do at the end is, if I want to, if it's going to be permanent, I will tie them all together. I got the little ties of the Velcro. If you're going to watch the desktop setup, you'll really see the benefits of tying everything up, having the cord management nice and tight. This here is an example of those little Velcro cords I was talking about. Those are on the list too. These help with cord management. I'm going to use it here just to make sure this cord stays with this gooseneck. So now I get the cord for the HDMI to go from the computer to the monitor, and then I get the power cord for the monitor. I'll attach those now. Now, the other thing that you'll notice, there are two lights up here. The two lights are giving me my exact needed lighting for the entire room. This is the main lights. There's an overhead light right on. I typically don't have that on while I'm filming. So left and right, just above eye level. And now the great thing about this setup, one, I do need to connect this. That just connects to the other USB. I'll get that in a moment. But now, the great thing is I'm all set to go. I got a green piece of material behind me on the screen. But the beauty of this being on a standing desk is I can use this standing and presenting, or I can just lower the desk. And just like that, everything moves with it. I'm all set to go. I'm done. This is the complete equipment setup for a laptop. Now, the next step is actually to do the software and the programming. Now, the software is free. It's OBS software. Now, you can use Ecamm, and there's just, if you're on a Mac, other things out there, but OBS, hands down by far, of everything that we've tested and continue to test, is by far the best. OBS has been around for over 10 years, used by gamers and streamers for over the last decade. And I'm not a gamer or a streamer. I just rely, I know what their level of expectation is on tech and their level on performance. And if I can get just a fraction of that for the online presentations, the online training, the coaching, the workshops, the webinars, the workshops, I'm very good to go, and so are our clients. So the next step, I'll show you how to download the OBS software. Now, there is an investment required because you're actually going to look over my shoulder and you're going to see me set up the scenes, set up the software, program everything in here, have it all set to go so it looks like professional studio. So if you're interested in seeing that, you'll click the button below. It'll take you right to all the details, and you can watch that now and get set up.